Hello and welcome. So we missed a week. We're back. Yay. And it's me and Corey. So thank you for listening. So this week, I've been tossing around ideas on what to talk about, and Corey is zero help. So thank you, Corey.
No problem. Happy to help.
And so I've been reading a book, and in the book it talks about something called your false self. So I thought maybe we could talk about and dig into that a little bit. And
My false self?
yeah.
Is that like me with abs?
Yeah. So I'm going to say a prayer, and then we're going to start. So, yeah. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for this platform that we get to share your truth, that we get to discuss things that affect us daily. And I pray that your Holy Spirit would just be in our minds and be in our hearts and be in our words, and let us put ourselves aside and let you speak to what you need to speak to. We thank you and we love you. Amen.
Amen.
So, yeah. So false self, when I think about it initially, I think about in the past you've said that, when you were younger, you moved around a little bit, and so you kind of were a chameleon. You like what you explain it better.
I mean, a chameleon is pretty accurate. Like, I can fit in with any crowd of people.
Yeah. So do you think that that's a false self?
What's the definition of a false self?
I don't know what the definition is. I guess I can look up the definition.
If by false self you mean I can paint a face on and become someone I'm not to fit in with a group of people, then yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not being entirely you, right?
No.
This says that a false self is a term used in psychology to describe the version of ourselves we present to the world to gain approval, avoid rejection, or stay safe, rather than living from our true God-given identity.
So yes, it's exactly that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was pretty good at that.
Okay. So I think, like, when I read this, it was kind of profound to me because I thought that I'm always true to myself. Like, I'm always, but like the reality is, I don't think I am. I think we all put on masks. Like, we all create a false self. And so I'm reading the book.
To some extent, I think everybody does a little bit. Like, even the people that are like, oh, I'm just me 100% of the time. I find that hard to believe 100% of the time.
Right. Well, what a disservice that is to each other, though. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard to figure out like who your real friends are if you're that way all the time.
So for your
friends to figure out if you're a real friend.
Right. So for your own purpose, your own when you were younger and you became what everybody needed you to become, or whatever, however you said it, was that for you or for them?
For me.
Why for you?
Because I was always the new kid.
Okay.
And nobody likes the new kid.
So tell me how that evolved throughout your life. I mean, now you're 40. And so now my question is, when you walk into a room, do you do the exact same thing?
I guess it would depend on the room and who's in it.
Okay.
But sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that, like, I'm going to read a part of this book that really related to me and kind of opened my eyes to a realization. And this book is called emotionally healthy discipleship. But it says, when I walk into a room, my subconscious question is, what do these people need me to be so we can relate together? It sounds selfless, but I don't think it is. Rather, it's my attempt to be and do whatever the person before me needs.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Like, I was like, do I do that? And then I started thinking, and yes. So, like, everybody I'm around, I might get a different, I don't want to be like, if you know me, what version of me do you know? No, I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, I'm all me, but still, like,
Like, do you get the customer service version or the
yeah,
sandpaper?
right, right, or the real me. You know what I mean? And how do you? And so I think that initially, you give people, I don't know, maybe not even initially. I think that even even when we love people, we still give them the version of ourselves that we know that they want. Like, if you come home and you look really, really tired from a long day, I'm going to give you the version of me that you want, as opposed to the version of me that's real, that wants to talk your ear off because I've missed you all day and I want to tell you all the stupid things I did and I want to talk about dumb things.
Now you're done with everything by 7 a.m.
Yeah, like, that's what I want to do. But if you walk in the door and you're like, then I'm like, oh no, I'm not saying nothing. So when does it become inauthentic? When does it become not real? Like, in that aspect with you, if you come home from work, I think that's just being generous, because me, I'm still going
That's
to
just
tell
being a
you.
good wife.
Yeah, I'm still going to eventually tell you all of the things I've done, because you're my dude. But at what point do we become inauthentic? Do we spend so much time doing and trying to figure out in our brain?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess, like,
it's really interesting, like, to me.
it's inauthentic if you are completely not you.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I'd paint a face on and, be this person that these people need me to be, but it was also me in there, just an embellished version.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. So, how many authentic, real, deep relationships did you have when the embellished version of you met new people and made friends?
Um, one, maybe two.
Okay. So really, it's something we do, but it's not something that renders a deep personal relationship with people.
No,
So you think
like
there's a
the two, or really one, to be honest. It's only that one because I did life with that one person.
okay. So
He got to
okay.
experience the real me
Okay.
outside of these situations.
Okay. Okay. So I often wonder, like, for me, like, if we do it, like it says in the book, it says we do this subconsciously, and we don't realize when we do things subconsciously, we don't realize we're doing them. We walk into a room and we immediately assess the room, and we know what we need to be for each individual person, and so we do that. And so then it becomes people pleasing, right? I mean, it's a huge
Ultimately, yeah.
form, which is control, because if you're people pleasing, you're controlling the outcome. You're controlling everything that's, you know. But so I'm just wondering how often we do it and don't realize that we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or how often? Okay, this is a great example. I do not like Christmas. I love that Jesus was born. I will celebrate that forever, but I don't like the Christmas part of Christmas. I don't want to get a tree. I don't want to decorate. I don't want to participate in reindeer games. Okay? It's just, I don't want to.
I can agree.
Okay. So the majority of the time that, and most people who know me know that I don't like Christmas. That's the authentic self. Me saying, I don't like it. I don't want to participate. So, how many people want to force me to participate in Christmas?
Everyone that loves Christmas.
Almost every single person that knows that I don't love Christmas. They want to force
Interject
they want to force their Christmas upon me. And it's been like that for years. Like you have to do this, you need to do this, it's for your kids, it's for the memories. And I understand all of that. I don't discount that. And I also don't discount that people genuinely love Christmas.
it's what society has made Christmas that makes me not like it. Like it's just another Hallmark holiday as far as society is concerned.
Right. Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Jesus as far as everybody else is concerned.
Well, okay. So, but my point is less about Christmas and more about that's the authentic me. I don't like Christmas. And yet every single person basically says to me, the authentic you isn't, you know what I mean? Like I'm not sitting in the corner crying because people are hurting my feelings. I don't think about it that deeply. It's just, I'm just trying to give you an example. My authentic self isn't good enough for them.
But is it being your authentic self when people are interjecting their Christmas shenanigans onto you and you're just like, okay, yeah, okay, sure? Or are you going, to be honest, I don't like Christmas and I don't really want to partake in whatever it is you got going on?
I think that like though in circumstances where that happens, um, I just participate with them to make them happy. I don't think that's me being false because I want to make them happy. But I'm also
people pleasing.
no, I that's how I want to love them. I know that they love Christmas. So the way that I can give to them and love them is to like participate. But I mean um like a few years ago somebody gave me this gigantic Christmas tree and all these Christmas ornaments and was like, you have to decorate for Christmas. You have to put our kid even makes me put a tree up. Like and so I guess that's what I mean. Like do the point that I'm trying to make, and I think that you've missed it because you're stuck on the Christmas ball, is that my authentic self doesn't like Christmas, but everybody around me that likes Christmas doesn't accept my authentic self and wants to push their Christmas on me. Hence why I just always do what everybody wants me to do. Why I have a Christmas tree up, why I do this. So, like, the point is, if we are not to have a false self, then we also have to be good at receiving people in their authenticity and understanding them as they are. Does that make sense? Or am I like completely in left field? You look like I'm in left field. Like you don't.
I'm just trying to put it into something else other than Christmas.
Because you're overwhelmed by the Christmas?
No, I can care less about Christmas.
No, I mean, but the thought of it. I ruined this podcast because I mentioned Christmas and Corey's like, I'm done now. I don't want to talk anymore. I hate Christmas. I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know where to go from there because I don't know if you
Go to New Year.
I don't care about New Year either, really.
Yeah, now that we don't drink and party,
I'm
New
not
Year's is
a
pointless
yeah.
too.
Well, I think it was pointless before. It's not a all holidays, like spending time with your family is awesome, and that's why you should celebrate holidays. But like, I just don't get into them like other people. I don't decorate. I don't for any of them.
No, we're not too festive.
You know what I mean? Like that's just not who I
We
am.
gave our kids their Christmas presents the day after Thanksgiving every year.
Yeah, forever. I'm just not.
We're not festive.
No. But I mean, like that's just our real self. But I'm curious to like as
Well,
I
it's not exactly the same, but like where somebody tells me they love a certain band and I can't stand that band, I immediately bombard them with what they probably feel are my terrible opinions about this band. And I'm like, your opinion's terrible. This band is terrible. You should not listen to them
yeah.
because I know better than you.
Yeah. So you just stomped all over their real authentic self
Yeah.
as opposed to just
Just being like, hey,
that's cool. You like
that's
them.
cool that you like them. There's no reason you
I
shouldn't.
don't like
than,
them.
my opinion is probably terrible.
Yeah, that's a way better analogy than Christmas. Then because like but that's what I mean. Like so subconsciously not only are we walking in rooms with a false self, but we are not leaving space sometimes for people to have their real self.
And maybe it's reactions like I give for bands. In the band's example, is why people don't
Tell you?
be authentic to people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Nickelback's got some jams, but I don't got a Nickelback sticker on my truck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and maybe like yeah, so it goes both ways. So it's in some aspects, when you and at what point okay, this is just another spin-off, but at what point does it become manipulation?
when you do it to get your way.
But aren't you doing it to get your way anyway because you want them to like you? You don't want to have any conflict, you don't want anything to go bad. So you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm asking.
No,
We're talking it out.
It's true. Yeah, that makes sense. In a way, yeah, you are using it as a manipulation tactic.
So like one of the big things as a Christian for me sometimes is remembering that I can't use words to manipulate. Like if I'm an expert on a subject, then I have the ability to use my words to manipulate and steer things the way that I want them to be. And I really try hard not to do that, even in our marriage. If I want something from you, I've been studying you for like 18 years. So I have a PhD. Okay. So if I want something from you, I know exactly how to manipulate you into getting it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I try really hard not to do that. But I mean that's what for me that's what I do. So now I'm thinking like man, I'm subconsciously manipulative. Like I'm pretty much give people like my face gives people my real self all the time. Like, oh man.
At worship practice, Kathy was like, "You all right? Something wrong?" April said, "I know how Dawn feels now." No, I'm fine.
Yeah, just the face.
Yep.
Just my face. This is just my face. But I mean for real, like and I'm just and that's why I want to talk these things out because this is what happens in my brain when I read something like this. Then I dig deeper and I think deeper. So am I being if I walk into a room and I know who I am, right? My identity is in Christ. I am a born again. I am an heir to the throne. I'm the daughter. I'm a child of God. That's my identity. But if I walk into a room, I'm not thinking, I'm not holding my head up high, and I'm not like, oh, I am a child of God. When I'm walking to a room, I am doing that subconsciously. I'm looking at the people. These are the things I should say because this person likes this. So if I need to, like,
Mhm.
and as a communicator, I've worked in customer service, you have to touch on all kinds of different things. So I was always really good at making sure I knew about 1,000 things, 1,000 small things, real shallow, like, so that I could make,
Small talk.
yes.
I hate small talk.
Yeah. Well, because then you have to create a false self. Because your real self doesn't like that. Your real self is like, unless you're going to talk to me about guitars or guns, I don't really want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
That's being a little dramatic, but
No, I mean, that's pretty.
you know what I mean, really, like small talk. I am terrible at small talk, but I'm getting better because I think it's important. Is terrible as much as we don't like it, and we're not good at it, or you're probably really good at it. It's important. Some people really enjoy small talk. It's hard. You have to be a really great listener for that.
To be honest, I use the what what is it? False sense or
False self.
false self to do small talk because I don't like small talk. So I'm analyzing this person to figure out what kind of like even simple stuff like what are they wearing? Okay, he's probably a hunter. He wants to talk about some guns and probably deer. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Like,
But I don't, and that's what I mean. So I don't think that's wrong. I think
I
that's
don't think it's
genuinely caring about people and seeing
I don't
them.
think it's wrong. I think it's just a like for me it's like false self, like how to create small talk because
You don't operate that way.
I don't want a small talk. I'd rather, you know, what's on your Spotify playlist? Let's talk about that. Let's get to know the real you.
Yeah. Let me see your Spotify Wrapped. That's how all conversations need to start. How's your Spotify Wrapped?
Oh, we're not gonna get along.
Lauren Daigle? No. Um. Yeah. So I mean, just it's a lot to think about, really, and a lot to like discern when what is your false self and what is just trying to love somebody well, really. Because some people need small talk. If you were just abruptly rude to somebody and walked away, they would be like, "I'm never talking to that guy
Yeah,
again."
that's just rude.
You know what I mean? So you have to almost. I don't want to say. So when does it be not? When is it not a false self, and then it's just humility? You know what I mean? So
Right.
maybe there's a line there.
So like my guns and hunter example, that would just be humility.
Like, hey, I see you. So you're giving of yourself. Like, I'm going to listen to you,
Right.
which is also sometimes for me, like I'm practicing listening because I'm really bad at it. Not because I don't want to listen, just because I love to talk. It's a problem.
Well, most people don't listen to listen, they listen to respond.
Yeah, I'm that person. That's me. I'm learning. I'm working on it.
Like you start telling me a story and if I can relate to it, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that remind sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to tell you about my story that has to do with
Yes, that's me. That's that's straight me. Forgive me if I've ever done that to you. I'm trying to be better because I understand that that's me. So That's the real me.
The authentic you.
Yeah, the authentic me. But I mean, when we think about it, like all the things, and I had this conversation with somebody today, all the things I think about when I walk into a room full of people. How am I presenting myself to them? How are the things that I'm saying affecting them? Did I say this wrong? Did I do that wrong? Are you know what I mean? Did they take this the wrong way? Did I, because I care so much about people's opinion of me, which if I am walking in alignment with God and doing what God has asked me to do, then He always has my back, right? So other people's opinions of me don't matter. His opinion of me matters.
Yeah. But at the same time, you don't want negative opinions. Not like, I mean, it still doesn't, ultimately, it doesn't matter. Like, it has no effect on you as far as like your salvation.
Well, no.
But you don't want to walk into a room and everybody's like, ugh, and like they just turn their back on you. Like
Okay,
you don't want that.
but if God is pleased with me, then why would I want to be in a room full of people who have a negative opinion of me if God doesn't? Just asking. Like,
Well, God doesn't have a negative opinion about anybody. He loves everybody.
okay, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. So you're
You know what I mean?
saying,
Like, so if you walked into any random room at the church and it's not like your core people that you know your core people, and you walk into that room and you can tell on people's face that they're like, ugh,
Dawn is here.
Dawn's here. you 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 would create a false self to
Prevent that.
prevent that from happening and to turn that relationship back around.
Okay, well,
Because even though God is pleased with you, these people clearly aren't. So, but you don't want that. It would make you feel some sort of way.
that's what I'm saying though. If God is pleased with me and they're not pleased with me, why does them not being pleased with me matter? If God is pleased with me, they're here for a blip. He's my eternity. He's my rock. He's my everything. It's like you. If I walk into a room full of people and they don't or they don't, they don't like me, you still love me and you would literally tell me I'm what matters to you, right? So God would be like, He's what matters to me.
Yeah.
Is that,
I see what you're saying.
you see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like it would wreck me if I walked into a room and could tell that people didn't like me. It literally would like wreck me because I try because my false self here tries really really hard to get everybody to like me, which is probably why this stood out to me in the book, because it's like, at what point does your false self hinder your relationships or hinder your identity or hinder your,
I think when it turns you into somebody you're not, like you become that false self on the inside.
well, it could go back to always saying yes, to being yes people. We're you and I, we're yes people.
Yeah, I'm totally.
That's not our real self, because we'll be sitting on the couch like
mad about it.
but I mean, that's what I mean. Like, that's we're yes people. And it's because I would say I don't know why we're yes people. Because we don't want to let people down, because we want to be there for them. Um without expecting anything in return, because it's not very often that, I don't think that we're like, I need your help. You know what I mean? We're not those.
Right. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know. Maybe it's pride or ego.
Are you? being yes people. Like we're like, oh yeah, of course we said yes because we're yes people. That's who we are.
Can't do something right. Do it yourself.
Okay. Maybe it is pride. Maybe it is a mixture of pride. So how do you? So if we set boundaries like we're supposed to and limits, we wouldn't be complete yes people all the time, huh? Sometimes I say no. I think I don't know. Maybe I don't.
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I said no to somebody asking me
Or
something.
something. Yeah. Interesting.
But
So
I also I like I kind of it's definitely probably pride, but I I get a sense of gratification and satisfaction out of being a person that people can count on. Like if I tell you I'm going to do something or help you, you can you can put you could bet that I'm going to show up and I'm going to be there to help.
yeah, I can relate and agree to that. And I think somewhere deep down inside of us might be people that want to see other people happy. That we want to give other people joy for doing that. Really. But sometimes it's to our detriment. Sometimes it's because we have a false self.
We put other people's happiness above our own.
Sometimes because we don't like for our relationship we don't create, we'll put other people above each other and not in a like negative way, but like, hey, it's Dawn and Corey date night or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, nobody can come over. No, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing that. If we have a plan and it's a fluid plan or a flexible plan and somebody's like, hey, blah, 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 then we'll be like, we'll catch up next week, bro. You know what I mean? To each other.
Right.
So I don't, it's really interesting. I don't know. It's really interesting because I think there's a whole lot of stuff more to unpack about being your false self. And like the thing that it was talking about in the book where it was talking about your false self was that you need to go from an attitude of doing to being. Like instead of doing church, be the church. Like that kind of aspect.
Okay.
And so the first, like, one of the steps was stop being your false self. Be real. And I think that part of the reason that we become our false self is because it's easier. Because it's not easy to build a relationship with somebody that you might not agree with all the things.
No, it's actually difficult, I think.
So you fake it till you make it, right? That's
Yeah.
instead of just hammering it out right away, like you're here and I'm here and we don't agree, so let's just move forward. What else do you got? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And our identity, and remembering that our identity is formed by God and by nobody else. And nobody else, and when we say nobody else matters, yes, you know what I mean? Some people's opinions of us matter. And relationships matter and how we do things matters. But like our identity and who we are, that's between us and God. And if we are abiding in Him and if we are being with Him and sitting with Him and studying with Him and letting Him prune us and grow us, and then it doesn't matter what somebody else thinks about it. It's like you have a conversation with somebody who's like, I'm struggling with cussing. I'm really struggling with it. I'm trying to stop and I can't. And I'm over here like, oh, that was the first thing that left. I didn't have any issue with that. Like we're in different spots. Or if God's not working on me with cussing, I'm like, oh, Well, I still cuss. And they're like, well, God is telling me to stop. There's a clear difference there. So your relationship with God and your identity is found through Him and with Him, as opposed to with other people and what they tell you that you should be doing.
Yeah. Well, and everybody's got an opinion, and everybody knows how to make your situation better, but not their own.
Well, because I use this analogy all the time. If you're sitting inside the box, that's your perspective inside the box. If you're standing outside the box, then you get the full picture. So really,
Right. And God's
outside the box.
He's way outside the box. He sees everything.
Absolutely. And how often do we?
I heard, I can't remember where I heard it off the top of my head, but somebody had said, if you get in a kayak in the Grand Canyon and start going down the river, and 20 minutes later, somebody else gets in a kayak, starts going down the river, they're right behind you, but you can't see them. Yeah, our dogs are here too. You can't see them; they can't see you. But if you are up at the top of the canyon, you can see both of them people, maybe some more.
Yeah.
And now look at God's perspective. He's way out there.
Yeah.
Sees everything.
Yeah, and we don't. We don't.
We can only see what we can see.
Right.
Our little perspective and our little bubble or box or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. And that it explains a lot too. Is if you're walking the path and you're listening to God, God's not going to let you be a garbage human. I know, I'm sorry for the way I talk sometimes, but He's not going to let you. He's going to work those things out of you because He's building your character. He's building you brand new. He's going to work because He knows. So like there are things that God puts on me that I do not like. Like when I have to apologize to somebody and swallow all the pride in the world that I have, you know what I mean? I don't like that necessarily sometimes. And I've had to do it with you. Like, I am sorry. I'm sorry. Like, but God reminds me of that. Like, so He's not going to let you just willy nilly go off and do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean?
Not
So
without
like
some conviction.
yeah, you know what I mean? So if He's not going to allow that and you're walking with Him, then this person who's in front of you's opinion shouldn't matter, right? I mean, you can take the things that they say and you can hold them before the Lord, and then the Lord can let you know, like, you might do that a little bit. There might be a problem or whatever. Maybe that's God's way of letting you know that sometimes you're a bad listener or sometimes you're rude. But like I think in general, worry more about other people's opinions of us than we do about God's opinion of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, God doesn't ever get well, I guess He probably does get our fake self sometimes, or our false self.
That and like when you walk into any given room full of people, not even followers of Christ don't walk into that room right before they go in. They don't take a deep breath and are like, I'm a child of God. Let's go.
Yeah.
They walk into that room with God not at the forefront.
Yeah.
They're immediately like, oh, what's these people's opinions of?
Yeah, like how do I protect myself?
Yeah.
From these instead of nothing that happens here is going to matter because God is with me. God has my back and I'm a child of God. And and I think that it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard. I think it's hard for anybody. I believe that in my life you are the most mentally stable, emotionally healthy person that I've met. You have a good grasp on your emotions. You know what I mean? And but is that your false self?
I'll never tell.
Ooh. No, I but I mean you are like that, like it's kind of awesome to see that you don't have the same issues I have. Like you never come home and are like, do you know that this person, they said this and I think that they meant this, or they think I'm terrible or whatever. Like that's not a thing that you have.
Well, I think that's mostly a woman thing.
Oh, okay, friends. So if you're listening and you're female, I need you to comment or message, because he just he gendered it right there.
I mean,
I don't think so.
because like I can argue with dudes and say some things that like,
But you're not going to feel any sort of way about it.
no, tomorrow we're gonna be like, oh,
But
what's up? Good morning, man.
do you think you're the only dude that's like that?
No,
Do you think all dudes are like that?
no, I don't think all dudes are like
I
that.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with you.
I think the majority of dudes are like that.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. Do you know that men gossip way more than women?
Really?
Absolutely,
okay.
100%.
I guess, yeah.
100%.
I don't know about more than women.
Oh,
but,
come on.
But we
Come on.
we definitely do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I
Oh.
just dug myself a hole, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, because now all night I'm going to be thinking of things to throw at you. Well, about, men and women. But no. Really, though, like, maybe it is men. Maybe women are more, I mean, we are more emotional. So it could potentially be a truer statement that, we read into things more
Yes.
than we need to.
Yeah.
And that's probably something we acquired along the line of our life somewhere. But, well, thanks for joining us. I don't know if we really came to any conclusions.
Typical Dawn and Corey chat.
Yeah, it was a fun conversation though, and it's really something like to dig out and to think about, and just at the end of the day, remember that the authentic you is a child of God, that your identity is found in Him, and that we may fail every single day, and we may make mistakes, but we have to be more concerned about pleasing Him than pleasing others, and we have to abide in Him and us, and walk forward. So we probably won't talk to you again till after Christmas. So I hope you all have a happy holiday. We are celebrating the birth of Jesus is incredible, and this is the last week of Advent, and in Advent in itself is pretty incredible. So I hope you enjoy the time with your family and everything else, and we will hopefully talk to you before the new year, but
We'll see.
yeah, we'll
Depends
see.
on what happens.
We're not really reliable yet. So keep praying for us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you if you want to chat, just shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you. So have a good week, and
Merry
thank you.
Christmas.
Bye.